exciting LinkedIn Live. I'm so honored to have our special guest, Tara Gooch. And we've been on much in the past, had some great conversations, and really the momentum this is starting to build is just really gratifying and unexpectedly on the upside, which is usually not the case. Because of that, chat's open. Love to hear who's here, where you're from. If you have a question for me or Tara, we'd love to hear it. And want to make this as much about you and valuing and respecting your time and involvement. And this is not a great time to be the best kept secret on LinkedIn. So use this to step out. There's going to be hundreds of thought leaders who see this right after it posts, during it posts. You want to get that exposure. Use this as a networking opportunity. Make connections, reach out, look at each other's profile, because everybody's here for the same reason at the same time. You've got alignment. With that, I want to introduce Tara. Tara, tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you like about these LinkedIn Lives and how it can benefit the audience?
My name's Tara. For those who don't know me, I'm the CEO of Best Branding Solutions. Thank you so much, Don, for being in my network, being a connection of mine, but more importantly, you're a valued advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And we came together through LinkedIn Live, and we built a relationship built on reciprocity and giving to each other and learning from each other, and really pouring energy into each other and adding value. And you know what? It's LinkedIn Live is such a powerful tool, and not enough people use it. They say 1% of LinkedIn users post content, but how many people have their own live shows like this? Again, it's such a good bridge to build a community and to find these trusted advisors, trusted partners, right? And I've got Shiny is chiming in, Shiny James. She's in my LinkedIn playbook right now. And I was talking to her about why can't she start her own live show, right? And, have a co-host and build a community, and feature herself on a stage as a subject matter expert, right? So, when you do this, it helps you gain reach, but, it also helps build a community. People start to expect you. They start to trust you. You become a trusted advisor to them, by adding value and just by showing up as a leader, Don. So LinkedIn Live was a total game changer for me. And, you really helped bring me out of my comfort zone with LinkedIn Live. I even remember, starting off LinkedIn Live with you and saying, well, if I just do it maybe twice a week, that'll be good. And you kind of looked at me like I had three heads. You were like, get in there. So we help keep each other accountable, right? And I think that's so important.
Well, you teed it up so well, because I appreciate your kindness and your openness and sincerity, and that's really what builds trust, is authenticity. And as much as I got to meet Tara with mutual respect as individuals, what I was able to perceive is the respect for someone's capabilities and qualities and where you think they're going to go, because you want to go with the people going places that you feel are going to get there and have fun with them. Yeah. And it's because the place could be so abundant. It's not linear like you used to. It's not 1 + 1, it's 875 million. And to Tara's point, all you got to do is distinguish and differentiate yourself. I guarantee I don't know anybody who's doing LinkedIn Live every day for the last 7 months. Right? So just like the person who could write the Declaration of Independence on a head of a pin, it's an incredible talent. Doesn't mean it has value. It just means it shows persistency, perseverance. You want to be with a fighter. You want to be with a climber. And all you need is a couple of them. And Tara has done so much to enhance this program, to bring character and value that you can feel, not just hear or understand or put it into some calculus, but really start to come out of your own shell. I mean, I'm doing one with Gretchen Skolka every week, and she's now starting her own.
Yeah.
And she started the same way. She was afraid to go
Mm-hmm.
live, to be
Yeah.
public. But once you get a taste of it and you see you were afraid of jumping out of the first floor window, right? And there's
I like
nothing to
that
it.
analogy.
But anyways, let's recognize some of these people. Okay, I think I know who that is. Emma here from Bucks in UK. Hope you're all having a fabulous Friday.
Hi, Emma. She's been awesome. Emma has commented on all of my LinkedIn lives. I've been shouting her out.
Well, I'm starting to gain a daily core because I'm trying to now adjust it to what the audience is sharing with me
Mm-hmm.
and making it like the 11 a.m. Eastern time yoga class on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
or go to the gym,
Yeah.
spend 30 minutes with exciting, energetic, sharing people
Yeah.
who that's enough to call your group and get away from the noise and the mob and all the distraction and get serious with a small group who really got your back, and you're really happy when their successes start to show up, because you know what happens? You're right behind them.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
okay, we've got Emma here. We just mentioned this. Okay, hello, Tara. Greetings from Nigeria. Hi, good evening. I'm an Indian, but right now working in Nigeria. Well, welcome to the show. Muhammad Ali, hello.
Yep.
From Pakistan. Great. This is the first step of being seen. And that's the key to being here, is having people see you for who you are, where you are, what you are right now. And that's the LinkedIn promise. Real time, real people, real conversation, what you're thinking right now, not what you're thinking about publishing tomorrow and how it's going to look and how much response. Because the secret to this is the more you do, the better you get.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely. 100%. And you know what? I have, a story to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So, last week I couldn't be on your show because I was doing my first public speaking appearance. But you know what, Don? When I walked on stage, at first I was super nervous, just like the first time you're nervous on a LinkedIn Live. I was nervous, my heart was palpitating, right? I could feel my breath increase. But when I walked off that stage, I felt more powerful than I've ever felt.
Wow.
LinkedIn Live is the same way, but you know what? I wouldn't have been able to experience that without this platform, without doing LinkedIn Live right here, because this was the catalyst that helped get me to that next step. I couldn't have gone from point A to point Z without this in between. I needed this time to develop my craft so that when I could go to that next step, it was already kind of solidified. So LinkedIn Live it'll change your life. This is not, we do it all the time. So, now we're proficient at it, but we weren't always this way. But it absolutely can and will change your life. And it'll help you get to that point where you want to be. And sometimes, they say the biggest fear for human beings is public speaking. It's not being eaten by some wild animal or being, any of these other things. It's public speaking. But if you can get over that fear of public speaking with something like this, what can't you do in life?
Yeah, and it's the beauty of it, and the easiest way to share the value of it is knowing I had nothing, or Terry had nothing to do with the platform.
Right.
This is a Microsoft, LinkedIn engineered finance machine that's going to keep growing. So all you got to do is latch on and catch a wave with it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how powerful this is. But I do it every day. And here's the beauty of it. LinkedIn Live will create a multiplier for you. If you do it once a week versus what I'm doing 7 times, just 7 times, but that doesn't take into consideration the amplification
Yeah.
of this message. Because in my opinion, there's not a better 30 minutes I could invest in getting my message out to a group who takes the time and interest in advance to hear it
Yeah.
and then participate in it and then find out it's not my message, it's their message too. It's the message they've been looking for because they've been climbing up the right ladder against the wrong wall, right? You got to put your effort and your attention to what's winning and what here's the thing. Watch what people do, not what people say.
Yes. Can I say something
Sure,
and
please.
interject real quick?
When you get excited, everybody gets
I
excited.
know. I can't hold it in. So, as I was watching those public speakers last week, one person said something, and I meant to tell you and I forgot because it was like a perfect one-liner. It's hard to follow a parked car.
Isn't that profound?
Think about that. How many parked cars are we following, guys? When you look at your circle, think about who's a parked car and who's moving. You want to be behind the people that are moving, the people that are getting outside of their comfort zone, the people that are putting themselves out there, like you, Don, who, has gained this immense amount of followers and in this short amount of time and puts himself out there and constantly getting outside of his comfort zone. Don is not a parked car. Follow somebody like Don. But it is hard to follow a parked car, isn't it? And he said that, and it's like a synapse connected and in all of our brains. I could see these light bulb moments happen for everybody. But honestly, that's one of the best pieces of just life advice. Don't follow parked cars. Don't, because you'll only stay parked right behind them.
That is, and it's so simple.
Yeah.
And it's something everybody experiences every day in real life and just navigates through it. But when they start something that's mysterious, a new venture, they start to build things into it that never deserve to be there. And here's the thing. If you look around and everybody you're working with isn't doing what you'd like to be doing, just go to the people who are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a saying, it's easier to give birth than raise the dead. And you can't keep going back to what doesn't work or who doesn't work when all you turn your head and you look around and say, who's doing LinkedIn Lives? I guarantee you, if you made yourself a commitment out there and watched me and Tara for maybe 7 of our LinkedIn Live episodes independently and collectively, and you can do that by just looking back. You don't have to make a calendar, say for the next 7 days, I'll watch your stuff. Just like you can look at the last 7 days of what we've done. Is that empowering? Is that nourishing? Does that make you feel stronger, better, give you better ideas? Then that's free. That's open access, right? Invest in yourself the time. And then I think where me and Tara come in is when it's time to personalize that advice. When now it's your individual situation that can't just be put in a box. If you can do things with generalities and snippets and advance, that's terrific. Because like Tara said, it's the first step that's the hardest.
Yeah.
Right? Once you take that first step, the second comes easier. And before you know it, you're not stepping, you're running. And let's just run through some of these people because they were kind enough to share. Great. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Oh, we know each other. And that's wonderful because, I've met so many people directly on LinkedIn Live and saw them and talked with them and related to them that I've been communicating through text and comments. And it was so refreshing and nice to really know they're real.
Yes.
Here we have Lisa G from Indiana. Thank you so much, Lisa. And while you're listening to us, jot down some of these names, look up their profiles, make some connections. So you can say in 30 minutes today, I made 6 connections, picked up 2 tips, got inspired, add that up, compare it against another block of 30 minutes and reinvest yourself, redirect your time, because you only have so much. It's where you're getting your dividends from and where are you getting support. And I think that's so essential. Muhammad Ali, uh, wow, he does it all.
Yeah, he does it all. I think Emma Barry Crawling had a question about she's never done
Okay.
a LinkedIn Live before. I can't see the whole comment, but she said she's never done one before. She was
Okay.
looking for a tip, I think.
Is it up or down? Oh, here.
You see it?
Okay. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go.
We're down link. What would your tip be for someone doing the first one? You know what my tip would be, and what I encourage and how it works out is be a guest on somebody else's,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know, and then you get to have someone drive the car. You won't have all that pressure, responsibility. And here's the thing, as a guest, you may think of yourself as an unaccustomed speaker, but you have to look at it like an honor. Like you're recognized and now you're being promoted on someone's show. You're going to get valid third party validation and benefit of association. You know, you want to dive into a pool where everybody's there already, you know, and all you do is join the fun
Yeah.
versus trying to make fun or create fun. So, yeah, what would your suggestion be,
I
Tara?
think that's perfect because honestly, if I could do it all over again, I would have just found you magically. But I remember my first LinkedIn Live, it was a disaster, but we all have to start somewhere. But I learned the hard way. If I would have known anybody doing their own LinkedIn Live show at that time, I would have just joined them. Honestly, I don't recommend, just like you said, to go in by yourself. Don't do it because there's so many nuances to this. And honestly, most of the people that I have on my show, it's their first time. And before we go live, they're all nervous. And one lady asked me for if we could do a script. And I said that no. I said, I'm not going to ask you any questions that you don't already have the answer to. It's very
Mhm.
conversational. It's just you and me. But, when you do it by yourself, you almost have to have that because what else are you going to say? You don't have anybody to piggyback on. You can't have dead air. At least when you have somebody else, you can
Mhm.
partner with them, bounce ideas, and it's very reciprocal. It's very conversational. And then there's time to sit and reflect as that other person's talking. You don't have that advantage when it's just you on that platform. So pair with somebody else. And Emma, I know Don's open. I'm open. If you wanted to be on either of our shows, I'm sure we're both open to that.
Sure.
So, come on down. She's in the UK. She's in the United Kingdom. I know she would love to be on either of our shows. So we'd love to have you. Don't be
Yeah,
shy.
I think that's a great suggestion. And, you know, since I've been doing it, it went away from me really quickly. And then it went with someone else and me.
Yes.
And now it became not me as much as the audience. And the responsibility now is on their shoulders to create the program they wanted to see, right? And I'm going to start a new thing next week, which might be chancy, but kind of like when I'm doing it by myself, maybe open mic, right? So who out there wants to appear right now?
I've
Don't,
thought about that. I've thought about that. That is so fun. And then you can just invite people.
yeah.
I
So,
like it.
well,
I like
maybe next week, if we do this LinkedIn Live, we can do maybe some open mic
Yes.
and experiment together. And I think that really takes that. Okay, got to have a Zoom call. Got to go over who I am, what you do. I think all you have to do, and is be LinkedIn centric, right, as far as topic,
Yeah.
and either share something that you learned or try to learn something that you've been puzzled with, and then really ignite knowledge share. If you can get 7 people's opinion and be peer-to-peer knowledge share, not from the top to the bottom. And I think, the compliments I've gotten is just being comfortable, personable, and yourself. You know, if someone came in for a cup of coffee and a piece of cake at your home, how casual and accessible and open would you be? And if it's not yours, you don't have to worry as much.
That's right.
You know, and then if someone leaves a session and says, I didn't get a lot, well, you had an opportunity, right? Why go to a dance if you never want to dance? You know, and I think that applies here. So let me run down some more people because it really makes a difference. Because, you know, it's easy for me and Tara to say things uh, because we're doing it and people can say, well. But when other people around you are just like you, and believe me, we wake up every day, got to put our pants on one leg at a time, like everybody else, you know. And if you really look at being humble, you know, just being happy and grateful and sharing that's a beacon, you know, that attracts people. Being safe, being respectful. I mean, those attributes are so rare, but they're so easy to provide. And because someone who gets out there and does it naturally is going to gain a lot of attention and appreciation, and you're going to magnetize yourself to them because, you know I have a great life and Tara has a great life, but I know there's a lot of people don't have support out there. I know a lot of people are facing severe challenges and don't know what. And these opportunities are a way to one step at a time. You know, start with where you are, start with who you are, and apply yourself to something that someone else looks like they're doing really well and having fun with.
That's exactly it.
Right?
Having fun, enjoying it. And it doesn't have to be something that you don't like. That's the beauty of LinkedIn Live. It's whatever you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you are, just personified on a bigger stage. That's what it is. We're just making ourselves on a bigger stage, and it's given us both opportunities. So again, don't follow a parked car. Follow somebody that's moving. Follow someone that is, willing to try something new. Like that. I love your idea. I'm all over that. It's you, me, and then a question mark. Who else is going to join? I think that's pretty powerful, and we'll be able to see, like, how the interest is out there. If people are really brave enough to do that.
Well,
Um,
it's kind of like reality TV,
yes.
right? I would never know. I mean, you do have the ability to toggle somebody off real quick if they start pitching something or come
Right.
from somewhere that they're not supposed to be.
Right.
But you know, that's the beauty of pulling yourself away from the party and letting the party take its own organic approach to building and gathering. And that's why the only thing I really would like to see people do is share this with others. If you're really getting value, if this is making a difference for you, that's a value add you could provide that didn't cost you anything, because the ultimate goal for people on LinkedIn is be the ultimate connector. Right? Where you can bring people together that you can bring value to that they couldn't have done on their own. And you've already paid for those trusted relationships.
Yeah.
And everything comes back to you, right? That you do for others. The more you give, the more you get. It just takes a while in your perspective to understand that if you invested in a stock and said for 5 years, we're going to put it in the drawer, never look at it. If you put 5 years into yourself and gave yourself that patience and perseverance,
Yeah.
you could be everything and more because you're riding a tailwind instead of a headwind for a change. And that's what LinkedIn Live can do for you.
Absolutely.
I'm working on connecting peoples. Let's connect with me. I will interview. Okay, well, ambition is there. Reach out if the duration is 15 to 20. I have no idea what that is. Minutes. The often you do it, the more comfortable you become. So true.
Yes.
Get into a rhythm. That's why I don't miss a day, because it's like exercising. It compounds. And once you get into a rhythm, you follow yesterday's energy with renewed energy today. And that's why I decided, not only looking at the results as far as the comments, the interactions, because everybody commenting here is a comment on the post when it posts. So you already have that going for you as far as a tailwind. And the other thing is that the more people involve themselves, the easier it is to do more of these with more people. So if my role is open, close, and keep it together, and everybody else's role is, hey, let's show up and network, let's show up and knowledge share, turning this into 1,000 people is nothing against 875 million people, because no one knows about it.
Right.
And value, and that's a misnomer, is usually determined by audience instead of value. So you could have the greatest content, and because no one sees it and no one responds to it, you start to think your content's good, not good enough, but you don't have an audience.
Exactly. And I've seen that. And you know what? That kind of, it goes back to your reciprocity that we always talk about. And you give more, just give and it'll come back, right? So it's an abundance mindset too. But I've seen that with creators done. They may have really good content, they may post every day, but because they haven't taken the time to build community, built on reciprocity and giving back with an abundance of mindset, it ultimately falls on deaf ears. So, you have to have, with LinkedIn especially, it's a completely different algorithm than anything else. It's built on that foundation of reciprocity and of that abundance mindset. And we can have all of these things in order, but if we're missing one part, it's not going to generate revenue for us. So we have to have that community. We have to have these networking relationships. We have to have more than one kind of post, right? We have to have a mixed media approach with video, with all of these things. And we have to come with an abundance mindset of giving first and then receiving afterwards. If we don't have those things, and then commenting on other people's posts too, that's so important. If we're missing any one of those 4 components, ultimately it's not going to lead to the success that we're capable of. We're all capable of whatever we want to achieve. It's already inside of us, but we have to have a strategy in order for it to be successful and fruitful. Don't you think?
Yeah, and what I'm also noticing is, let the medium do the heavy lifting. I
Yeah.
compare LinkedIn Live to a Ferrari, to just normal posting to a Pinto. And being so high performance, what I learned is, do more with less people who can do more for you. Find 5 people that you just want to surround yourself with for the next month. Ring their bell. Just do a bang up job of supporting them, getting in front of them, tooting your horn for them. They'll embrace you in a minute, because you'll be numero uno to everybody else that day and everybody else that week. And when you meet with gratitude from them versus mystery or questioning in the past. Hey, let's have a call. When people say that, it's like, well, that's 30 minutes. What do they want?
Right.
Why me? All these things versus, hey, this is a person who's been really getting behind me. I really enjoy what they're doing. I appreciate how they're doing it, and they're doing it unselfishly. My feeling with monetization is, create the value, share the value, let people experience the value, and now they'll know what they're paying for. And all you have done is turned the meter off, the parking meter, for a couple months. Right? You can always put the monetization in, but they had this sales approach, which would be called the puppy strategy. And what you do is you take a beautiful puppy to a family with a couple kids and say, can you take care of it on Friday? I'll pick it up on Monday. You're never getting that puppy back.
So the puppy strategy is your game.
Yeah,
I like it.
Once people, once you got a couple kids on top of it,
Yep.
that puppy's never going to leave that house.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to but share puppies, you just have someone take care of them for the weekend. And it's the same thing on doing it here. Give somebody something that they fall in love with, that they see beauty and they see the future, and they can make their family happy at the same time and get some balance and maybe some support.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. And if everybody can duplicate through others, LinkedIn's a fertile, open field that I'm alone here, and I'm doing it just to be different. But by being different, I'm playing the game. And by playing the game, I'm getting better at it. So I've already shifted 4 times. Now I'm actually opening in my schedule that I won't be alone anymore. Because with open mic, or with open invitations, there'll always be someone here. And if there's someone here for me, there's someone here for you and everyone else. And the benefit of sharing this and getting more people to be part of this is you're going to get more knowledge here. You're going to get more recognition and promotion. You want your people to see you with our people.
Yeah.
Right? And get the benefit. And all of a sudden, instead of a viral post where you get 150,000 views, why not get 150,000 people showing up for a show like this and make it stick? So tomorrow you don't get 6,000 views and puzzle yourself as, how do I get back to 150? That's all vanity.
Yeah.
Things that don't last, you can't build on sand. Build on rock. Terrible thoughts.
Gosh, I could just keep you in my back pocket. Again, you need to write a Don's one-liner book. You can't build on sand, you got to build on rock. It's all about that foundation you build. You couldn't have said it more perfectly. Everybody take notes. What he just said is so profound. And that's with any business, that's with your activities online, how you build your network. You can't build on sand. So the best way to set yourself up for success is by working with somebody that already has a foundation of rock established. Don't follow parked cars. Follow moving ones with a strong foundation, with a proven track record that they have succeeded, because we look at these vanity metrics and we can get really caught up in them, but ultimately, is it converting, right? Is it converting? Is it getting us the results we want? And a lot of times it's not, because we're following a parked car or we're building on sand. You have to have that strong foundation first in order for it to make sense long-term and give you that long-term established growth.
Yeah, and it's all who you're with who will tell you. Did you realize you're behind a parked car?
Yes.
Right? Did you realize you're building on sand?
Yeah.
It's getting someone to get you to do things you couldn't have done without them, and vice versa. That's what a workout buddy is. And I think, with Tara, with Gretchen, I know Jenny Maxwell, we're doing shows every other week. There's so many great people who know each other and now are moving to a platform together. It's almost like moving to the next neighborhood, right?
Yep. And by the way, I can't get Jenny Maxwell on my show because she's too busy on your show. And I'm like, Jenny.
Well, I tell you what, if you ever saw a lightning rod for energy and excitement, and Tara too, and Gretchen, I mean, they can't help themselves from their true self coming out, from their essence. And what they have inside is so much more than what they've been able to share with others, because of opportunities. But LinkedIn Live can make that happen because my philosophy, if you can't do it, could we do it?
Yes.
And that's important. And no one should feel like they should have to do it all, because not everybody's capable of all. And most people should follow their passion, their core competency, complement with others who are stronger in the areas they're not. Let them combine somehow, like me and Tara are doing. Too many people are putting money in front of value shared, and it lends itself to insecurity. Why do you want me to overcommit with under knowledge long term, right? When if it's that good, maybe it would have been better if we just sampled and designed it. It could have been more appropriate, and it could have been more whatever. I too believe public's been a powerful tool for branding, allows you to present your message. Yeah, and LinkedIn Live promotes you. Christine's been here about every day now. Thank you, Christine. So glad my call in so I could get on some of this. I spend time here because it gives me the shot in arm that and positivity that I need to get and stay going. Love the park car saying. And that helps me and Tara, because without feedback, it's like a comic telling jokes and not knowing if someone laughed.
That's right.
And then they got to go back to the next show and say, did these work?
Right.
And that's going to encourage Tara and me to share that saying, but more importantly, now you all could share that in your next discussion to illustrate maybe what it was harder to get through.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. It's hard to follow a park car. Look at two wonderful affirmations of that.
I can't take credit for it. It was not original for me, but I heard it and wanted to tell the world because it was so powerful.
And it ripples.
Yes.
Right? It continues to have value. When you share your personal story experience, you're the moving car, which can help to build a connection with your audience and make your brand more reliable. Keep moving, keep sharing your story, motion, baby. And that's so true. Why not get excited? Some people are so negative. If you lifted the hood on their head, both terminals would be on negative. And it's, why not get happy? Why not enjoy the ride? If you believe the check's in the mail, and I do, I know what's coming, and I'm so excited to enjoy the pause. So many people are so fearful for the gap, between jumping off a mountain and jumping on the other side, that they don't have fun with it. And you can always change. Be a guest fab. New question: how best to be a guest on someone? Just reach out to them. Just message me or Tara. Just raise your hand. Even during this, you should always do what you feel and what you believe is right for you.
Yep.
On an airplane, they always say when the masks come down, put it on you first and then help others. Why? Because now you're taken care of, and now you've got resources for other people.
Yeah.
And that's my suggestion.
Absolutely.
Tara from Lahore, well, two Taras, professional engineer. Thank you so much. I always wait to attend your online session.
Aww.
Well, great. And this is the first time you've introduced yourself. Everybody just has to understand it's one step at a time. You don't have to make huge moves. Find one little thing you can do a little bit better every day and impress yourself with your progress. Yeah. And then ask yourself, when you're doing whatever you're doing every day, is this taking me closer to my goal or further away?
Yeah.
Right? Am I watching some mindless TV and I could have applied myself to something better? But here's what's even better than that. When you're involved with other people and you're involved with things that are bigger than you, you don't worry about you as much, right? When it's all about you, it's always like competition, measurement. And, if you're busy watching the score when you're on the field, how good are you going to play? The score will follow the performance. So thanks so much. I love to be live with you guys.
Next Friday, Emma. It's your time to shine. I'm going to just go ahead and say Emma's going to join
Oh,
us
for
next Friday,
sure.
John.
Be here next Friday, and we'll give you the link. The world. Okay, we got hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay.
See,
What's the three skills? What's the three skills you recommend to the audience, Tara?
What's the 3 skills you recommend to audience? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, I guess LinkedIn skills,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so LinkedIn skills, just, in general with LinkedIn, some of the biggest issues that I see holding people back are communication, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
the Carnegie Institute of Technology quote from them says that 85% of our financial success is due to our interpersonal skills. So, our ability to communicate, negotiate, and lead. So, if we can get that communication aspect, up to par, how much better are we going to be on LinkedIn, right? So, understanding how to effectively communicate with diverse international people.
Mm-hmm.
So, how to communicate, I think that is so key. That's the absolute top one. But treat your network just like you would your financial portfolio. You want it to be diverse. You want it to be always evolving, right? And just people that are moving. So those type of things. Another good LinkedIn success strategy for a skill, I would say, is just literally putting yourself out there, being brave enough to put yourself out there, and be seen in a big way. Again, it can help develop your personal brand. But again, you could be the best possible person for whatever it is. You could be the best doctor, the best lawyer, the best business consultant, the best teacher, the best student, whatever. If no one knows you exist, they cannot find you. So you have to market yourself. You have to put yourself on a bigger stage so that people will follow you, because at that point you go from being a parked car to a moving one, and leaders follow other leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leaders want to be aligned with other leaders. Leaders don't follow followers. Leaders look at those people who are driving the car, who are in that front seat, taking their foot on, putting their foot on the gas and smashing it. So, the first thing you have to clear up is always communication, your ability to network, diversify your portfolio, make sure it's filled with good top level decision makers, and be a car always in motion by doing things like putting yourself out of your comfort zone on a world stage, on a LinkedIn Live event. One of the best, easiest ways to do it.
Perfect. Completely agree. Humility is such an underrated attribute. Uh, Mindset makes all the difference because it shapes how you see the world and how you show up in the world. Perfect. Um,
All of these things are so true.
Mindset makes all the, okay,
Yep.
covered that. Hi, I'm Murphy. I'm an educator and content writer. Thank you for joining. Share this with others.
Yeah.
That's what you can do is when it's over, just share it, right? And it's something you're doing once once your mindset change, everything on the outside will change along with it. Yeah, there's a saying, for things to change, you need to change.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you can change minds over time, and therefore you're more open to reflect, learn, and grow. Yeah, because once you put out what you have, it's like yesterday's baked goods. You get a chance to bake new ones today, right? If you hold it in, it gets stale and it loses value. Learn and grow from your challenges.
Yep.
Yeah, there is no failure. There's only feedback. So everything you do will teach you something, maybe to help you in the future.
Yeah.
Don't fall part-time driving on sand. Well, that's combining it, Emma. Uh,
She's good, I'm telling you.
from Nigeria. These are coming fast and furious. Excellent.
Oh,
Thank you.
see, I told you.
Yeah, see, all it takes is being proactive and reaching out.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
ready, Don. She's ready for us.
yeah, and you know what? You'll be unstoppable after a while, because once you get a taste, there's a saying, uh, better to stay in the dark than go to the light and go back to the dark. Once you've seen the light, you won't go back. And you'll also see yourself in a new position because you have to keep redefining yourself and reinventing yourself on LinkedIn. I look at things I was doing and who I was 3 months ago. I'm a completely changed person. LinkedIn Live has been like a polishing stone. It's cleaned stuff. It's opened up stuff. And more importantly, what I believe, because in my past background in business, I was always a principal. I was always owner, founder, CEO. And I never wanted to have to depend on anybody or anything. And based on that, you can create your own anything on LinkedIn yourself. Instead of waiting for an event or an audience, you can create your own ongoing event and audience.
Yeah.
And whatever was meant to come and whatever you're waiting for is still going to do whatever it's going to do independent of what you do. So it's not like you're trading something for something.
Yeah.
You're just saying, until it shows up, I'll make it happen. If you're stuck on the side of the road, you can either start walking or you can keep waiting for someone to pick you up, but either way, you're going to be getting closer to something by doing it. And that's what I'm advocating is you can get as smart as you want, as ready as you want. And there's a saying, start before you're ready, because you'll have to catch up,
Yes. Yes. That is so key. Everybody, our biggest fear, and I talk to entrepreneurs all the time that are like, I just don't know how to do this. Just get started. Just get started. Because honestly, we can theorize all day long. And, I've said this quote before, but an ounce of doing is worth a pound of theorizing. Think until we're gone, right? We can think all day long. But if you don't put in the action steps, you're never going to get the result. And just like you said, the check's in the mail, but it's only going to be delivered with action steps.
Yeah. And I think too is people have to be very forgiving. You should always take full responsibility and accountability, but pardon yourself as fast as possible. Right? Don't pay twice. Don't keep punishing yourself, bullying yourself, comparing yourself, because that time could have been spent improving yourself.
Yeah.
And if you feel strongly about that, communicate that. That really gets over, is compelling.
Yeah.
When I tell people a story that could be embarrassing, but taught me a lesson, or allows people to say, if he can do it or she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you decided to be heroic to yourself, to be courageous? When did you say, tomorrow I'm going to get on somebody's LinkedIn live, right? I guarantee if you left this show and started hunting, and it wouldn't take long because people notify you, and say, hey, I could start watching 3 LinkedIn Lives next week. It's like an exercise program from maybe Tara, maybe Don, whoever, right? I would say whoever we're with is somebody you should be getting with too, because we've already qualified and approved them, right?
Yeah.
So Jenny's a sure thing. Gretchen's a sure thing. And, I only refer and recommend people who are great people first.
Mm-hmm.
Ability and background and education and history, that just got somebody to where they are. And to be honest, everybody's only as good as their next thought and conversation.
Yeah.
So what you have to think and what you have to share makes you who you are. And that really lends itself to people who might have had challenges in too much of a physical world.
Yeah.
That now get a fair, honest playing field to say, well, here's what I think. Here's what I say. I don't have to travel 3 days a week. I don't have to get in traffic every day. And I think ultimately what we're providing is a much better quality of life.
Yeah.
Right? And if someone can show you the promised land, of what could be, and it's there and other people are there taking advantage of it, and you could too, that's your check in the mail. The only question you have is how big of an amount you want to put on it.
Yeah.
And how strident will you be to making sure you do everything to keep it coming through the mail,
That's right.
right? Throw the ball out there and find a way to get under and catch it. So with that said, I know we can go forever, but I know everybody's got things to do. I want to thank everybody. We've got, here's a how do you prepare comment. But with that, Tara, what's your, I think your park car thing won the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the open mic idea is tremendous. Because you know why we can be the trendsetters, because there's nobody else on the playing field that I see. You
Yep.
ever show up for a contest and you're the only player, you got to get first place, right? Until you get a second one. And that's what I want people to do, is dream again, believe again, redirect their attention to better ways of getting value, redirect their associations with people who are already providing you value. Okay, one more thing from Emma. Emma sure took over.
I tell you,
So proud of you, Emma. I mean, you're really making a difference for us and for everybody on the show and people who will see this. Totally agree. All that time we used to spend commuting or doing things that we didn't want to do. How many people have reinvested their time in personal development? So true. I have. There's a saying: if you had 5 hours to cut down a tree, you'd spend 3 hours sharpening your axe, right? And, that's what people should do, is while they're waiting for people to want them, employ yourself.
Yes.
Put yourself to work tomorrow and say at 7:30, I'm going to, just like how I'm going to show up at work, I'm going to do this for 3 hours. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to work till 5. And I'm going to be the best person and worker I've ever been for a day.
Yeah.
Promise yourself a day of just getting into it and driving hard. And at the end of the day, you got a choice to do it again if you want.
Yes, that is so key, because you know what? It's an energy exchange, right? So I've talked to people that are job seekers about this. A lot of times we think, if I just hit that 1,000th button, that 1,000th one. But if ultimately we're not working on our own professional development and our own personal development, that's what makes or breaks us. It has nothing to do with the volume necessarily, right? Because honestly, you become a different person when you develop yourself and when you invest in yourself. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a lot of resources to do this. Literally, if you improve 1% every day, 1%, which is attainable for us all, at the end of the year, you're 37 times improved. You can't tell me that, at the end of December from that year to the beginning of January from that next, in that 12 calendar months, that you're not a completely different person in just that 12 months. You're 37 times improved. So that's an energy exchange that people feel. And then all of a sudden opportunities start coming to you. Well, it seems like, you're just working on your own personal or professional development, and maybe people don't see it. It's a feeling. People can feel it. And you've been a business owner your whole life. You've been an entrepreneur. We've both interviewed tons of people and talked to tons of people. I can feel an energy. I can feel somebody that has a go-getter attitude, and it's those same people that take the time to, improve themselves, even if it's just 1%. That's all the difference in the world. And other people can feel that. And those leaders who you're looking to apply those jobs to, right, with, they can feel that energy because they are on that higher vibration already. Take the time and invest in yourselves. Everybody, no matter where you are, because we can all get better.
Yeah, and everybody should get better. I mean, if you're going to play the game, play to win, and play with the best players.
Yeah.
And how you can get better 1% a day is draft off of somebody who's already doing it, just like a NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
Get behind a fast car, it'll drag you with it for a while and give you a chance to pass them. So, I love this show, Tara. I think we bring a lot of excitement and energy, but more importantly, empowering people, to do more because there's something worth doing more for. And it could be just around the corner. You know, all it takes is one person, one opportunity to change people's lives forever. And you
Yeah.
just got to be open to it. You know, when the opportunity knocks, you got to be able to answer it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's so key. So I want to thank Tara so much. I want to thank everybody who's participated and who watched this after it posts. Share it with others. Come back tomorrow. Come back next week with Tara. Experience what Live Mike's session will be. And until then, thank you very much and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.